He was thrown out as a thief. He returned as a wealthy man. But money wasn't what changed everything. It was one decision he made in silence. What would you do if you were betrayed and had to start over? This is the story of two men in Mumbai. One who lost everything by trusting the wrong people, and another who built an empire by trusting in knowledge. Our story begins with Kailash Mehta, a 46-year-old businessman. Kailash was the pillar of his family, an ethical man who believed loyalty was life's greatest currency. He ran a successful textile factory, not just for himself, but to support his entire extended family. This included his two younger brothers, who saw the family business less as a legacy and more as their personal bank account. Kailash, ever the provider, overlooked their irresponsibility, blinded by his deep-seated loyalty. In the bustling heart of Kailash's factory, there was another man, Krishna. At Bintiocho, Krishna was the invisible engine of the company. He wasn't family, but his loyalty ran deeper than blood. He was hardworking, honest, and knew every inch of the business. He saw the waste, he saw the inefficiencies, but his suggestions were often dismissed. To Kailash, he was just a good employee. To the company, he was its most valuable and most ignored asset. One sweltering afternoon, a man named Rajan Kasana walked into Kailash's office. Kasana was a tycoon built on corruption, a shark in a city of fish. He offered Kailash a deal that was less of a partnership and more of a surrender. It involved bribes, cutting corners, and abandoning every ethical principle Kailash had built his life on. Kailash refused, his integrity not for sale at any price. Kasana smiled a chilling, predatory smile, and left with a simple warning. Principles are expensive. The cost became clear just a week later. A mysterious fire engulfed Kailash's factory. The looms turned to ash, the fabrics to smoke. The insurance was a nightmare, and the banks, smelling disaster, called in their loans. Kailash's world crumbled. His business was ruined. His family, once beneficiaries of his success, now became vultures circling his failure. His brothers blamed him for his stubbornness. In the chaos, Krishna watched the man he respected disintegrate. He knew Kasana was behind the fire. He also knew that Kasana had previously extorted a large sum of cash from one of their suppliers, money that was now sitting in a lightly guarded office. Desperate to save Kailash, Krishna made a choice. He retrieved the stolen money, Kasana's dirty kashanda, anonymously delivered it to Kailash's doorstep. It was enough to stop the immediate bleeding, to pay off the most aggressive creditors. Kailash found the bag of money, a lifeline in a sea of debt. But his relief quickly turned to suspicion. Where did it come from? The pressure from his family was immense. His brothers, sensing an opportunity to seize control, pointed the finger. They whispered poison into Kailash's ear, planting seeds of doubt about the one person who had always been loyal. Krishna. They concocted a story that Krishna must have been skimming from the company for years. In his desperation and clouded judgment, Kailash made a fatal mistake. He confronted Krishna. He didn't ask, he accused. The betrayal in Krishna's eyes was a wound far deeper than any fire could inflict. Without a chance to defend himself, he was dismissed, branded a thief, and cast out. Kailash had lost his factory, but in that moment, he lost something far more valuable: trust. Losing trust, he would soon learn, costs far more than losing money. Shunned and with nothing but his reputation in tatters, Krishna left Mumbai. He traveled south, carrying the weight of a false accusation. He ended up in a small town, where by a stroke of fate, he met a retired geologist, a brilliant but eccentric old man who had spent his life studying the formation of carbon crystals. The old man saw the spark of honesty and intelligence in Krishna's eyes. He took him under his wing and shared his life's work, not just theories, but practical, scientific knowledge about creating diamonds under controlled laboratory conditions. For Krishna, this knowledge was a revelation. It wasn't about magic, it was about science, precision, and patience. He absorbed everything. He saw a path forward, not through luck or deceit, but through tangible skill. This knowledge became his new foundation. With a small loan from his new mentor, Krishna started a tiny workshop. He applied the scientific principles he had learned. It was slow, painstaking work. His first attempts were failures, small, flawed crystals. But he didn't give up. He refined the process, adjusted the pressures, perfected the temperatures, and then it happened. He created his first flawless, lab-grown diamond. It was small, but it was perfect. It was proof that knowledge could literally create value out of almost nothing. Krishna didn't sell that first diamond. He used it as collateral to build a bigger lab. He reinvested every penny. He started creating larger, more brilliant diamonds. His reputation grew not as a mystical guru, but as a master scientist in a burgeoning industry. He built his business on the same principles he had lived his life by: honesty and quality. He didn't seek revenge against Kala. His focus was entirely on building, on creating. Wealth followed, but it was a byproduct of his passion and his ethical approach. He was growing rich, but more importantly, he was building something sustainable. Meanwhile, back in Mumbai, the money Krishna had given Kailash eventually ran out. Kailash's attempts to rebuild his business failed. Without Krishna's expertise, the operations were chaotic. Without Kailash's strong ethical guidance, his brother's greed ran rampant. They made short-sighted deals, cut corners, and alienated what few loyal clients remained. The family legacy was being dismantled from the inside. The final blow came when the brothers, deep in debt, tried to make a deal with the very man who had destroyed their family. But Kasana wasn't interested in partners. He was interested in prey. He exposed their incompetence and their betrayal, revealing to Kailash that it was his own brothers who had not only framed Krishna, but had also been siphoning money from the company for years. The truth shattered what was left of Kailash's world. His family, the people he had sacrificed everything for, were the architects of his downfall. The greed of his brothers had not only destroyed the business, but had poisoned their family's name. The legacy he had worked his whole life to build was gone. He was left with nothing. Years later, Kailash heard the name Krishna again, not as a disgraced former employee, but as the founder of a diamond empire. A man known for his innovation and integrity. He learned the truth of where that bag of money had come from, an act of loyalty that he had repaid with betrayal. This story isn't just about diamonds and money. It's a parable for our own lives. It teaches us three powerful lessons. First, ethics are the foundation that sustains wealth. Without them, everything eventually collapses. Second, knowledge is the ultimate asset multiplier. What you know is far more powerful than what you own. And third, having the wrong people in your life will cost you a fortune. So ask yourself, are you protecting your real assessor loyal people? Your knowledge? Your integritor? Are you pushing them away? The most valuable things in your life are not the ones you can count, but the ones you can count on. Follow for more financial parables that teach the lessons money alone never will. Thanks for watching.